Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Steph from the Hot Movement Podcast. Man, there's just been a lot of weird things coming out since the Adrian Griffin firing yesterday, right? The Milwaukee Bucks head coach. And my initial reaction was like, this made me look at Giannis more than anything, right? I mean, I read articles at places where like, yo, Adrian Griffin was trying to implement a certain defensive scheme and everything like that, and the players weren't buying in. I mean, yo, that the whole point of a new coach is to come in and implement things, right? I don't know if they thought that Adrian Griffin was just going to be some type of substitute teacher coach, just let the players just be the coach there, let the players do what they want to do. And it seemed like Adrian Griffin was trying to implement some stuff, defensively, trying to get this defense right, or at least implement his defensive philosophies, and players just weren't having that, right? They wanted better defense from Brook Lopez on the pick and roll and stuff like that, getting them out on the perimeter and stuff instead of being down low, if I'm getting that correct from what I read and stuff. But more weird things have come out because now a report, according to Mark Stein, NBA insider, saying that Nick Nurse was in the running to be the coach, and Giannis shut that down, right? League sources say now that the desired to play for Griffin is better described as a determination to play for someone other than Nick Nurse. Right. So Adrian Griffin was not really the ideal candidate, right? Just another guy they didn't want to play for Budenholzer, who was going to try to hold him accountable and correct the things that happened during that loss to the Miami Heat. Nope. Nurse was among the candidates that the Bucks had high on their list after a 5-game drubbing by the number 8 seed Miami in the first round of last season's playoffs. But sources say that Antetokounmpo wanted the Bucks to go in a different direction and thus chose to champion Griffin. Look, I get it. We live in an era where the star players have a lot of say. Okay, you can take the feedback from the players and everything, but you got to do what's best for your organization. And maybe what's best for the Bucks is to listen to Giannis, right? Giannis has his Bucks entire organization bent over, right? They get rid of Budenholzer. They look into Nick Nurse, who I thought Nick Nurse would have been. I like the fact that Nick Nurse went to Philly. I had some questions because James Harden was still there. So how was Nick Nurse going to be able to manage? And clearly that worked itself out. James Harden out of there, right? Good. So it looks like things are working in Philly. You don't hear any of the players or any rumblings behind the scenes with Nick Nurse. I mean, you see Joel Embiid is having his best season to date under Nick Nurse, right? That's not by accident. You know what I'm saying? That is coaching, whether it's X's and O's or a coach, really a player buying into the philosophy, the motivation. Nick Nurse is a champion head coach. You saw what he did when he had talent, when he was up in Toronto with Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry. So he knows what it takes to coach at a high level with talented players and get the job done, right? The Toronto Raptors, they didn't flame out. They knew, I think deep down they knew they had Kawhi Leonard on a 1-year rental, and they maximized it, right? Some things bounced their way, obviously, Durant getting hurt, stuff like that. So, but you can't take it away. Got the job done, right? So now Giannis, really, when stuff like this is coming out now, Giannis is on the hot seat, like I mentioned yesterday. All eyes are going to be on you. You have full control. You're the one that talked about, you want to see what the front office does and everything like that before you sign that extension. Well, clearly the front office has been doing a lot. And as of recent, they fired Adrian Griffin barely into the season, halfway into the season, 43 games in. Okay, a little more than half, 43 games in, barely into his first year. You don't like Adrian Griffin's his methods, gone, right? You didn't think Adrian Griffin was going to coach, but I mean, look, man, sometimes the best coaches, when they coach their star players hard, they're trying to get the best out of them, right? Adrian Griffin is like, he know he's on the clock too, even though he's on a contract. He's like, listen, we trying to get to the NBA finals. Okay, and these are the things that we're going to need to do to get there. So we got to start implementing these game plans now. So when we do implement them down the road, it's not foreign, right? And for him not to want Nick Nurse makes no sense to me. You'd rather have Adrian Griffin over Nick Nurse. I mean, Adrian Griffin was on the staff, on that championship winning staff under Nick Nurse in Toronto, right? So why wouldn't you want to have Nick Nurse, right? Do you feel like he's another Budenholzer? I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Jason Kidd was out, Budenholzer out, Adrian Griffin out. Now is Doc River up next, right? I mean, there's a common theme that we're seeing, right? These coaches are being like, usually good coaches with a good player, they stick around for a while. That don't seem like that's the case with Giannis, right? And I know Giannis is foreign, and he's from Greece, but Nigerian nationality and everything. And has Giannis gotten a pass for a while? But then now we need to start looking at him. Is he starting to show himself a little bit more? Is he starting to show himself too much, right? Where he's becoming a malcontent, and you see what happens when he has power. LeBron James has power. He has power wherever he went. You know what I'm saying? And he's been able to navigate that to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Giannis, stuff that is coming out, it just seems like this is just going full nuclear, man. And I gotta look at the star players. I gotta look at Dame. Dame, like, you're not a defensive guy, right? So when Adrian Griffin comes in trying to implement defense and stuff like that, Dame should have been bought in to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't won anything, right? You haven't been to an NBA Finals. You want to get out of Portland. You go to a good situation. Okay, this ain't Portland, right? You with a new coach who's trying to implement. You need to modify your game to help this team, but Dame's not getting his numbers. The team, Adrian Griffin was trying to help this defense. You're not buying in, so I got to put this all on the players, Giannis and Dame, for this going on. And really silly that the Bucks apparently wanted Nurse, but Giannis said no. So okay, Giannis, you gotta get the job done. You know what I'm saying? And listen, if he doesn't work, he's gonna bail, fly, run off somewhere to if it doesn't work out, when his contract's up, man. Man, I think did the Bucks get the most they can get out of Giannis at this point, right? There's been a lot of drama. This is the most drama that's come out of Milwaukee in a long time, and boy, was it explosive. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all this, man. Sorry for the long vid. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.